Hello, it's Paul Alexander from Fair Consulting Indonesia. We'll be talking about invest in Indonesia navigation to establish a foreign direct investment company in Indonesia. This will be the second and the last part of Invest in Indonesia. If you haven't watched the first part, make sure you subscribe to our channel and watch the first part for the basic regulation and also the flow process. Let's go talking about the chapter 3, basic requirements of FDI company. In this chapter, we'll be talking about capitalization and business line. Capitalization, based on government regulation number 5 of 2021 and BKPM regulation number 4 of 2021, FDI company is required to have the paid up capital with minimum 10 billion rupiah and consist of the shareholders with 2. So the capitalization of limited liability company must consist at least 2 shareholders. Business line of FDI company. So in determining the business line, there are 2 crucial subjects that must be carefully considered, which are the KPI and the positive investment list. This KPI and positive investment list are called business licensing requirement. What is KPI code? KPI code itself will determine what is investment value. So then there's a question pop up again. What is investment value? Investment value is a required funding of a business for FDI company as mandated by BKPM regulation number 4 of 2021. This investment value shall be submitted when applying the KPI on OSS RPA system. So investment value is not paid up capital. As confirmed by the BKPM through direct discussion with Fair Consulting with us, it is clear that investment value is not same as paid up capital. Instead, it is likely to be seen as the planned capitalization or funding arrangement for a particular business activity classified under the KPI. This funding can be derived from the various sources as follows: paid up capital, loan, profit turnover, or even grants. So the investment value itself has 2 components: fixed asset and working capital. Fixed asset or cost for purchasing the fixed asset or any cost prior to the commencement of the production or operation. And working capital, estimated cost needed for 3 months of production operation. So in general, the investment value must be higher than 10 billion rupiahs per KPI code and project location excluding land and building. So there are some exceptions. For the example is a wholesale trading higher than 10 billion rupiah per 4 initial KPI code excluding land and building. And also F&B business, construction, manufacturing business produces several products with various KPI codes on a single production line, and also property business. So KPI code also will determine the risk of business as the implementation of government regulation number 5 of 2021, which aims to ease the investment and licensing process. Currently, business licenses will be issued based on the assessment of the level of risk that a business could potentially create. This level is determined by the assessment of the potential danger or hazard of a business, and it has been listed under the annexes of government regulation number 5 of 2021. There are 4 levels of business risk. The first one is low, and the second and third one is medium low or medium high, and the last one or the fourth one is high. Further, this level of risk also will determine the FDI company establishment required primary licenses. Let's go for the low risk of business. The required primary licenses for low risk-based licensing with a degree of low is a NIB or business identification number. For the example, KBLI code 46591 wholesale trade office machine spare part and KBLI code 45101 wholesale trade new car only require business identification number due to their level risk-based licensing is in the low degree. And the second or third one is medium. The medium or low or medium high is requiring the NIB and standard certificate that must be verified by relevant ministry. For the example, the industry that risk-based licensing is in the medium degree is KBLI code 52291, freight and forwarding, and KBLI code 26210, manufacture of computer. And the last one, or the risk-based licensing with the high degree, requires NIB, standard certificate, and specific permit that must be approved or issued relevant ministry. For the example of this industry is industry with KBLI code number 63112, e-commerce platform, and KBLI code number 13993, or non-woven industry. So we've been talking about the KBLI code. And as I mentioned before in the previous slide, we'll be talking about positive investment list. To facilitate foreign direct investment or FDI in Indonesia, the government has replaced previous negative list of investment with the new positive list of investment. According to the Article 2, Paragraph 1, this regulation opens all business sectors to FDI except for specific government designated restriction. So to ease our understanding, we have summarized the types of business sectors with a certain restriction for FDI. So the first one is conditional business sectors. Conditional sectors have some restriction or conditions that foreign investors must meet to invest. These conditions may include minimum investment requirements or partnership with local companies. The specific requirements can vary from sector to sector. So for the example, mandatory partnership with local company. It is for KBLI code number 28113, machine and turbine components and spare parts industry. And KBLI code number 77394, leasing without option rights for office machine and its equipment. And the second one is with a limitation of investment. KBLI code number 51109, air transport activities. Foreign capital ownership of 49%, with domestic capital ownership as the single majority. And KBLI code number 53201, courier activity. Foreign capital ownership of 49%. And the last one is KBLI code number 58130, publishing of newspapers, magazines, or press. The establishment must be with 100% domestic capital ownership. Meanwhile, for the foreign capital ownership is allowed up to 49% through stock market. And that's for conditional business sectors. There are also, closed business sectors. So what is closed business sectors? There are sectors that are entirely closed to foreign investment. Foreign investors cannot participate in these sectors, or they may have limited access for specific purposes. So closed business sectors are divided into two main business sectors. So for the first one is 100% domestic capital. For the example, KBLI number 21022, industry of traditional medical products for humans. KBLI number 16221, industry of wood-based building products, and KPI number 20232, industry of traditional cosmetics. So for these three KPIs, is closed only for it is closed for foreign investment. And also for the second part is restriction according to Article Paragraph 2 of investment law. So it is restricted to any investment. So the first one is cultivation and industry of class 1 narcotics, all forms of gambling and or casino activities, chemical weapons manufacturing, and chemical industry and ozone layer depleting material industry, and others. That's it for the part 1 and part 2 of FDI establishment in Indonesia. If you have some questions or inquiry, make sure you reach us through our website or our contact, grm@faircongrp.com. And make sure you subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.